Welcome back to New to Medical Device Sales. I am your host, Jacob McLaughlin, and today I am bringing you all a very, very special guest. It is somebody who is from our course who was able to break into med device sales, but not only through that journey has become a friend, somebody that I'm so proud to see how much he's developed, how much he's grown, especially in just a short amount of times. And so today I get to bring you all Darren Adam, who was able to break into medical device sales in 8 weeks with being a part of our course. And the fun part is he's a geoscientist. We will be asking him what that is because I thought I was a geologist. I don't know anything. But today we get to have Darren on our show who broke in at over six figures in 8 weeks in med device sales. So Darren, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Jacob. I appreciate you having me. I'm excited, over the moon to be here and to just share a little bit of my story and to just, do all that I can to help everyone else on their journey to medical device sales.
Oh man, you're gonna help a lot of people because Darren is literally in the process of packing up and moving as he just got hired. He is moving cross country. It is absolutely a crazy time for him, but like we were just talking off air, just a fun time, man. Like you're going into such a cool season of life of what you were looking for, and you've accomplished it. And yeah, I'm just congratulations because it's a fun time for you, but I can imagine a little stressful, huh?
It's definitely been a lot of stress, but it's been so fun. And we talked about this, and we'll probably continue to bring it up, but just being in that uncomfortable space is so exciting for me, and I've learned to just love to live in that space, and that's where I'm currently at. So it's been crazy.
I love it, man. And hey, get comfortable being uncomfortable is what my coaches always used to say. So you're living proof to it. But yeah, Darren, can you just tell us a little bit about who you are?
Sure. So I am from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. My family's all from up there and grew up in Houston, Texas. And I went to Texas A&M University out in College Station. And from there, got into the oil and gas industry as a geoscientist. That's my degree's in geology, actually. So you are not off on that. We can get more into that, but generally just I find oil and gas. So that's the absolute tip of the iceberg of my job. But did that for almost 9 years, and it was so much fun. Really got to meet a lot of really good people and was exposed to a lot and gathered really good skills. But about 2.5 years ago, just went through life-altering event changes in life, and it caused me to pause and just evaluate myself, my life, career, and kind of what I wanted that to look like moving forward. And it's really in those times, when you're in that point, you just and you evaluating yourself and you're real with yourself, and you look at where you're missing and how you can look to improve yourself and get yourself out of those low points is when you make the most growth. So, we get one shot at life, and I want to be part of something bigger than myself. And so I was looking to, just have this bigger impact on the world and on people around me. And, just an industry like this where you get to interact with surgeons and just give them devices to just let them have a bigger impact on patients and improve those patients' outcomes and give them their health and lives back. That's an impact I am looking to have in this world.
And you're going to do it so well, man. I just remember our first call. Funny enough, you guys, my call with Darren was one of the few calls I took when I was over in the UK. When I was working for Innovis. It's night. It's like 9 o'clock my time getting on. And he was all committed. He's ready to go. And the one thing I just want to just state right now is I hope you all just heard what Darren said was Darren's 31 years old. And the reason I say that is because I have so many people who are like, hey, Jacob, I'm 28, I'm 26, I'm 34. I'm just too old. I think I missed my mark. And I'm like, are you kidding me? We've gotten 48-year-olds hired in this industry, 50-year-olds. It's not a problem. But the reason I'm just saying that is, man, I just want to share that for somebody who's listening. I know that's going to impact them. That at 31, you're like, hey, you had some life happen, which we all have had life happen, but you had a life moment, and you're like, what am I really doing with my life? Am I really living to what I want to do? And the courage that it took for you to be like, I'm ready to finally make that change because I can sit here and tell you with somebody who coaches and works with a lot of people, that's probably the hardest thing for most people to do is the change when you've been comfortable or you've known something um, to be even open to doing something different. And so I just wanted to like compliment you because I know there's going to be a lot of people listening to this that are in that exact same stage where they're like, I'm just not happy with where I'm at. I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing. I've been doing it for a while. I'm clearly not happy. It doesn't fulfill me, whatever it is. But they're too scared to make that jump. They're too scared. But like, because of you just sharing what you just did, hopefully it gives them that encouragement to be like, you can do it. And look at that smile on your face now, man, because I remember our first talk 8 weeks ago and to where you're at today, man. It's just so cool to see. So I just wanted to state that. Can you go into a little bit about, okay, so you went to be a geology major. How the heck do you become a geology major? Because you're in the big oil world, which is perfect for Texas, gas and oil. But like, what made you go geology and like to go be a geoscientist?
Sure. Yeah. So everything in Texas and Houston, it revolves around either medical or oil and gas. And you can come across some computer company, programming company, and you're like, oh, what do you do? Oh, we sell programming to oil and gas companies. It's like it all just ties back to oil and gas or medical. So my dad was an engineer. Well, I have that, the math science mind, and my mom was a teacher. And so, I always you kind of just are drawn towards oil and gas because everything kind of ties back in there. And, love science, love math. So I didn't necessarily want to do engineering, but when I got in there as I got into school. Sorry, I went to visit Texas A&M, and there was a really high family feeling there. Like you just walk in and everyone just makes you feel like you're part of this big family. And so then I started looking into what I wanted to do, and started talking to one of my good friends at church growing up. Her dad was a geoscientist. And so I started talking to him some, and he ended up being kind of like a mentor to me just in that high school period, and ended up following his course and getting a degree in geology, and had classes in petroleum engineering as well. So I got a little bit of both, and then I did a minor in business as well. So I got like a trifecta of exposure, and then actually ended up going to work for him for those 8 years. The company I was at my mentor growing up's company. So it was really cool just to full circle get back there.
Yeah. Dude, that is so cool, and that is absolutely amazing. And so with where you were at as a geoscientist, what were some of the like daily roles that you were doing there?
Sure. So it started out as I just started we'd get data in, seismic data, which is imaging beneath the earth based off of sound waves. And I started just kind of loading that data in is where I first started. And then they noticed just kind of how efficient I was with things and how much I picked up. And I started sitting in on meetings and picking up everything going on around. And they started giving me more tasks. And then so kind of went geoscientist covers the geologist and geophysicist. So I worked with seismic, and then I started incorporating well log data, which is they drill the well and then they send tools down and take readings of the earth and the reservoirs and the rocks. So you're able to tell the quality of the reservoirs and, where the oil and gas are, and is it oil or gas? And
Wow.
so then you just kind of incorporate all that together and find areas that are undrilled that have a high potential for an oil and gas reservoir that's untapped. And you piece that together, sell that prospective idea to operating companies, and they go out and drill it. So it's kind of in a nutshell.
That's crazy. Like, see, again, these are things like coming from Iowa, we got corn and cows. So this is stuff that like I've never even heard of, but that is absolutely amazing. And the reason that I love that you just said that though was like I wanted people to hear like you weren't doing anything with clinical, you're not doing anything with sales, like right, like this is what people miss is they're like, oh, you have to have this background, man. You didn't have that background, right? Like you were able to do this without any of that, but it's because of the person you were. But now that turns me into, okay, so how medical device sales, right? I know you had life-changing moment in your life, but like you could have gone to any career, right? So what was it about medical device sales that really was like, that's what I want to do?
So one of my good friends growing up played sports growing up, played baseball with him, and he went to college to play baseball and got into medical device sales. But I didn't fully understand it at the time, and this was in that 2.5 year window I was kind of talking about. But I was playing golf with him, and one day, and he was like, we were just talking about life and careers, and he goes, I think you'd be really good at just in the industry that I'm in, and just kind of started asking more questions about it. And he was a striker at the time, and he kind of set me up with some people, and so I started networking and learning more about the industry, learning more about the impact that you can have, and just kind of at that moment was reevaluating myself and getting myself back on track and getting myself off the ground, and just started taking a look as well at my career in more depth and just kind of what I wanted that to look like. And so being able to have an impact like that on people's lives is something that I was heavily drawn towards with just growing up. I was around a lot of surgeons and doctors, like just family friends. And so I really felt a pull towards it and had good relationships with those people in my life. So it was kind of no brainer. I wasn't even, my eyes weren't open to that industry. And then it just kept on getting wider and wider. The more people I talked to, I was like, man, this is something that I want to do.
I love it, man. Yeah, because it's funny when you start going down the rabbit hole, what you did, right? Like where the connections are and all the people. And so with that said, you had a friend that you were gone. So what made you go with our course? Like what made you be like getting on a call with me while I was in England, being like, hey, I want to do this. What was that moment for you?
Sure. So I went through a few interviews with a company and felt like it was going really well, and it was, and got to a certain point where I was talking to district manager and hiring manager together, and I thought it went well. I had a slip up here and there, but overall felt pretty confident about it, and then got denied at that point. And I've been listening to your podcast and just trying to, learn from just from you in general and from the people you had on your guests, and it got me to that point. And afterwards I was like, it's like I'm really serious about this. Like this just lit a fire under me even more, especially being told no. I was like, man, I'm gonna get this. Yeah. When people tell me no, I'm like, nah, I'm gonna get this. So I was like, we've talked about this earlier, but everyone has blind spots, and it was like, I picked up a lot from just the free content you put out there, but and I'm so appreciative of that because it gives you so much good exposure to just the, again, tip of the iceberg of everything involved. But really not knowing what those blind spots were, that was another just fire lit beneath me. I was like, I need to know those because I want to be always aiming to be the best that I can be in everything that I do, day in and day out. So I wanted to get on the call with you and see what you were able to provide. And I know you felt this too, but we immediately connected, and I was like, man, I can learn so much from Jacob, and I would not do anything different. It was great fit. You are an unbelievable coach, and you taught me so much. So that's how I got here.
Appreciate that, man. But no, like I'm so proud of you because guys, what you need to know about Darren, he's such a humble guy, but like he came in, he did his research, and he was like, I'm ready to go. And we talked, and we thought it was a great fit. So he came into the course. But what I want to just sit here and tell you guys is like, I've not worked with many people like Darren, who is on top of it, who goes as hard as he does, who is as proficient in everything that he puts his mind to, and will absolutely go over in everything he does to have people. I've never had so many people reach out to me saying, hey, Darren from your course is an absolute stud. Hey, this guy Darren reached out to me and he said he's in your course and he's crushing it. He's going to be amazing in the industry. And so I just want to say that to you, Darren, because that shows you. We can give you guys the saying, I can lead a horse to water, we can't make him drink it, but you were chugging, man. You were chugging it all and you were doing it. And I know you spend a lot of time with Roxy, and Roxy just sings your praises. Like, you're just a great dude. You're a hard worker. And you guys, like, the one thing I want you all to know is like, it's not like Darren just had one offer. Like we were going like 3 interview processes at once. We're like, you need to do this, you need to do that. And then when I say that, it's not like, oh, like 60K here. No, like all big offers that he was going with all big companies and even a full line rep position. And like, so I just want you guys to understand that like Darren is an absolute gun and you were able to go that. And I just wanted to mention that because it's not like you were just balancing like, oh, this is my only thing. Like you were going through multiple interview processes, got hired in 8 weeks, but you came in and you actually committed yourself and you did what you needed to do, which you did amazing at. And I remember when you texted me, you got hired. I called you right afterwards. We're all pumped. But then it was like, how long you been in? And you're like, yeah, I asked my girl and she told me only 8 weeks. I thought it was way longer than that, right? And it's
Yeah.
because like it does seem like it's way longer that when you're in the trenches, but like, dude, for 8 weeks you put your head down and look where you're at now.
Uh, you said a key thing just with huge shout out to Roxy. She is incredible and was so much help. And y'all are unbelievable mentors and coaches. And, I just cannot give her enough praise and you enough praise. So that's a very worthy shout out. And, I want to give her that shout out as well.
Oh, of course, man. Like she is amazing. Like I can't tell you guys. You guys think I'm good. Good God, you should wait till you meet Roxy. Like I'm telling you what, just an absolute beast. And we're so blessed to have her. And so yeah, it's just so cool to watch you have the success you did and everything. And so where I want to like pivot now to is okay, so you went through the interview process. What do you feel was different? Because you said you had tried it on your own, right? What do you feel like was different trying it on your own than like having like me and Roxy and like our course and like, and I'm not saying you have to give like specifics, but like where do you feel like it was like, okay, now you went through 3 final interviews, you were getting offers compared to you couldn't get past the second or third round because you kept getting denied. What do you feel like that big point was?
The community you've put together is incredible. And the people in your course, because you hand select them, and you and I are very like-minded, and Roxy are very, and it's like the people that y'all choose to let in the course, and just like the community camaraderie that you built with that community is you can't get anywhere else.
Man,
That's a huge piece, and then just y'all's ability and y'all's love for coaching and teaching. I mean, you give anyone like that a chance to teach, and they eat it up, but y'all are just incredible at it. So and just my ability I'm very coachable. So
yeah.
just picking that up from y'all and just having those interactions and calls with y'all and the content and just the calls that we have week in and week out and
Yep.
hearing, where everyone's at and the steps and the processes is, it gives you so much of an advantage over other people you're competing against. So
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. At least a few of them, a few of the biggest things.
Yeah, man, it's so fun, and I appreciate you saying that because like that is what's so fun to watch is like the community we have. You're one of the living proof. Everyone who sees it, we only let top people in because that's what we're known for. Is like we want other like-minded because I don't want like it's what we always say. Eagles don't fly with pigeons. I don't want a bunch of pigeons coming in trying to like yell at the eagles, right? It's everyone here is to lift it up, and it's how fun is it to be on the Zoom calls with everybody and like we're having multiple people get hired and we're all celebrating them, and then like you're going through the interview process. We have other people going through the interview process. You guys can feel what it's like. Hey, did you get a win? Like it's just so many people don't understand because I can sit here and tell you when I went through it, it was by myself. It's why I do t-shirts now because I wanted you guys to have a t-shirt so you never forget the amount of work you did because I know what it's like. Like I said this on the other podcast, like my mom still doesn't know what the heck I do. Nobody knows what you just went through over the last 8 weeks, Darren. Like nobody understands that except other people in medical sales. And honestly, a lot of people in medical device sales don't even understand it because a lot of them are like, hey, I know Joey and Joey's mom get me. You know what I mean? Like you're a geoscientist coming from no background. Be like, I am going to get offers. Watch this. And so I appreciate you saying that, but you said it right. You are so coachable and you did the work and you guys, that's all we need is someone who's going to do the work and who's coachable and fully committed, which Darren was, and look at the results. Beat the average that we have because he came in and was all in, and that's what it is. It's like truly what you said, dude. I can't even tell you like I absolutely love coaching. I love watching you. Like you getting that offer makes me so dang happy. And that's why what I don't think anybody will ever understand is like, I can't wait. Like you getting your first $50,000 commission check will be so much sweeter than me getting my own $50,000 commission check, man. I've already done it. I've lived like life's great, med device sales is awesome and everything, but like I can't wait to watch you change your life, watch you change your family's life, like you start your new life out in Cali. Like it's gonna be absolutely incredible. And so, man, I just want you to know like how dang proud I am of you because you did all this. This is all your hard work. You trusting in yourself, you committing to yourself, you putting in the work, you getting on the calls with Roxy and me, you taking the time and you just going over, above, and beyond each and every day. That's why you're successful, man. So I just want you to truly know that because it's so fun to watch you have the success.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. And just it's testament to what you said right there is testament to what I was saying also is how good of a coach and just leader you are too, is because leaders and coaches, like they want to see everyone else around them be successful.
Man.
And that's what jazzes them up. And I get that from you, feel that from you. And that's very genuine. And so it goes such a long way. So thank you again.
Yeah, man. Well, I'll say this too. I got into Ted Lasso. If you guys are ever needing an encouragement, just go watch Ted Lasso. Like I'm prepping on it. But there's a line in there by a guy named Higgins, and he's a funny guy. But this is what it just hit me, and it's truly become my life motto. And it was at a time it was like, you go through some challenging stuff, but it's like it's a very positive. Ted Lasso is a very happy guy, so it's like it's nice. But there's a line in there that like I feel it in my heart, and it's a good mentor hopes you move on. A great mentor knows you will. And like that's like my dude, absolute goal in life is to have you guys just freaking fly by me. It's just to be like, hey, I hope I can pave it and get you guys to where you need to go, but now just freaking go and go live your awesome life. And so yeah, man, it's so much fun to watch you all have your success. And yeah, I could talk about this all day, but let's get back to med device sales so people can be like, Jesus, Jacob, I'm here for med device sales. All right. Hey, here we are. All right. So what do you feel like? So you went through the interview process. What do you feel like was probably the toughest challenge for you in that med device sales world coming from no sales experience?
You know, it's an interesting question because a lot of people I talked to, just like in preparations for interviews that I was networking with, they're like, okay, and this might be, I'm not saying that my process was unique or that I'm unique or anything, but everyone's like, okay, you're going to need to make sure you know all the products, and just know them to a T and know what they do and have all this clinical information in your head and a little bit of just, I guess, who I am, but just kind of additionally what y'all were able to skill-wise be able to add to me and just provide just myself with is just that ability to network, because just being very real and honest, the majority, if not probably 90% of my interviews were just conversations.
Yep.
They were not like interviewee. They were just like get to know you and, maybe like a little bit of a slight interview twist to a question here or there, but it was really just a back and forth. We were laughing the entire time, get to know you. And so, I don't think there was a difficult, there was not this like overwhelming weight of all these interview type questions on my shoulders, because it was really just like an interview from my side to them as well. Just that conversation to get to know each other the entire time.
Yep.
And that was really, really cool. And, I think it also is the teams that I was interviewing with specifically at these amazing companies, like that's the type of people that were there, is people who just wanted to get to know you. So a testament to them. And so I really enjoyed the entire process.
Yeah. And what I wanted to say there too is you just said it, a testament to the team, but a testament to you. And why I'm saying that, man, is I do this all the time and I coach a lot of people. But you guys can hear on the podcast right now of just how Darren carries himself. He's a guy you want to talk to. You want to get to know. You're an easygoing man. Like, hey, right? Compared to, I've watched it when people come in with the nervous energy, they come in with all the stuff, and then it's like, okay, time to grill them, right? You do a very great job of no matter where you're at, keeping it very conversational, keeping it very like, hey, let's just see where this goes, right? And that's even though you're a gun and you have all the answers when they ask you, you're going to be able to tell them. But that's also why it seemed more conversational because you did your homework, man, and you came prepared. So when they're coming at you, you didn't feel like you're getting grilled. You're just like, yeah, we can bring this into a conversation because I already know everything I need to know. Because what you guys won't understand is how much research and how much work Darren put in to be able to be like that. And so it's just a testament to you again, like you putting in that work. And so one thing I always love to ask people is, there's going to be people who reach out to you and they're like, Darren, I don't have sales experience, or Darren, I do have sales experience. I've been trying to break in. What's your advice to me? And maybe they're just getting started too. Maybe they haven't tried. What's your advice to the people that are wanting to get into med device sales?
Network is key, and follow up with everyone that you talk to.
Yeah.
I think that's talked to a few people and said just network like crazy, and even when you think, be prepared to each call, be prepared for each call, and when you're having those networking calls, it's asking everything that's on your mind, but make sure they're good questions, with your research done, but just get to know them as a person and let them talk because, it's, as you know too, it's like you get some of these salespeople talking about themselves and their day, and they love that because they don't get to do that often. So you get them going, and then you ask them for people that were mentors to them or helpful with them along the way, and that goes such a long way as well. And then follow up. It just goes such a long way, and follow up soon after.
Yep.
And it's, even if it's just like a reply with a thumbs up, they appreciate it so much.
Yep.
Because it stands out to me too. The people I've talked to, when they follow up with me, it stands out to me as well. So
yep.
It's huge.
You're 100%, man. Like, please go back and listen to that. Every single person that just was hearing that, like, you are dead on, especially right away with the follow up. Most people will like get on a call and they won't even say thank you for the time you took to get with them. And I live it every single day, right? Like, and that's what I just tell you guys is it does go a long way following up. But again, it's the networking, but it's doing it the right way. But you did a great job on the networking and being able to do it the right way and being able to listen. But it's what we talked about, right? People love to talk about themselves. Like, guys, sales 101. You just want to do it, ask about their day, ask about them. And we talk about this in the course. Have that person talk for 25 minutes, get off the call. You said 4 words, and they're going to be like, Darren is the best.
Man, Jacob, it's funny. My 2 worst calls, at least from my perspective, my 2 worst calls where I was like off and I was mumbling, jumbling my words up. And those 2 calls both led to interviews with 2 different companies. And I was like, man, that was terrible. It was a long day. I think one of them I was like, man, I'm sorry. I was like, it's like, I've had a long day. It's been stressful, And he was like, man, no worries at all. And then we just started getting off and he started talking. And then it led to like a great conversation. But I got the call and I was just all embarrassed. And it led to an interview where I got like 4 steps in. And so, when you think, just keep putting yourself out there. It goes a long way. And you just make those connections. And another thing is when you feel like you have a fish on the line, keep on talking to other companies as well. So
that is great advice, right? It's like, it's what we always just say in the course. More hooks out in the water is more opportunities to catch more fish, right? And what most people try to do is they try to bet all on one big fish. But what happens when you get the big fish, it starts pulling you and starts pulling the boat, and then it snaps the line because they just said no, or they just ghosted you. And now you're sitting there with one fishing hook that was now gone, and you're all by yourself. And you're like, oh my gosh, right? So that's great advice too. But like, Darren, I just want you to know, man, like, again, I'm so proud of you, like, to see where you're at, to watch you come in and absolutely crush it, and to go from a geoscientist of 8 years, and again, in your 31, like most people will be like, oh, I'm in my 30s, can't do this now, because whatever fake thing they put in their heads, and then you decided not to listen, you decided to bet on yourself. 8 short weeks later, you're in with an amazing company. You're getting ready to move across country. Like, you are going into the new step of like, hey, I'm going to live my best life in my new life. And you're stepping into the growth. And one thing I just told Darren is like why I am so excited for him is the thing that I've watched time and time again with the most successful individuals that I work with and I've seen and I've been in the room with is they seek discomfort. They seek the challenge. They get excited for it because why I just need to say this because I hope this hits somebody is when you do that, it's because you know you will be okay no matter what. Right? We talked about courage doesn't mean you're not scared. Courage means you're doing it anyway. And you believe in yourself enough no matter what you go through, you will figure it out. And so that's what I just want to say is like how proud I am of you, Darren, because you took the courage, you did the steps, and it's all happening and it's still happening for you. But I hope that's encouraging to somebody else. Just because, like, when Darren signed up for the course, like I've signed up for courses, guys. Like, it's why I can practice what I preach. It's scary. It's not like it doesn't go away, right? But it's believing in yourself that you're going to do it. And now we get to sit here and watch you move cross country being med device sales, but like it's the same thing. Guess what? That's scary on its own. But you have the courage to go and bet on yourself. So I just want to encourage somebody right now just to have that courage and continue to take that step because it's going to be scary some days. But so like I always say, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And if you're truly not fulfilled, if you're truly not happy, if you're truly whatever, like what I would just say is like, Darren got to choose you and Darren chose for yourself. And like, it is so cool to see where you're at now, dude.
Thank you. Yeah. No, yeah, exactly. I follow up with a very similar message, which is of you are more capable of doing things than you think you are. So just get out there, seek that discomfort, find comfort in that discomfort, and you are going to do amazing things.
I love it, man. Well, Darren, thank you so much for taking time. I know you're beyond busy right now with the move and everything. But just want to say thank you so much for taking time with us today and just sharing with our viewers you breaking in. But again, man, congratulations on breaking into medical device sales. You officially did it, man. You didn't just do it, you crushed it. You had multiple offers coming your way with multiple companies. Like this was no accident and you worked your freaking tail off. And so I just want to say congratulations one more time.
Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Roxy. Y'all are amazing, incredible, and I'm so excited for this journey. And head down, get into the industry, take a head up, celebrate, and ready to put my head back down and get back to work and get out there so I can crush it, just like you were saying. So
there is no doubt in my mind that you are going to crush it. It is going to be a fun. I can't wait to watch you crush it, man. So excited for you. And if you guys are watching, if you can press that like and subscribe button, a 5-star review does help us grow this channel. If you can share this with somebody, hopefully it can be helpful and encouraging to them. It would mean the world to me. But also would love to hear from you guys. You can reach out to us on LinkedIn, new to medical device sales, Jacob McLaughlin. But lastly, if you are really serious about breaking into medical device sales, we do have a course. Darren is living proof of it. Joined, he did it in 8 weeks at over 6 figures. Our average person is breaking in 8.2 weeks at $94,478. And we would love to help you break into medical device sales. It is an investment, but as you can see, like Darren, it was an investment in himself. And now 8 weeks later, here he goes. Right. And so what I would just encourage you all, if you are really serious about breaking into medical device sales, we would love to help you get there. You can click the link below, or you can also reach out to us on LinkedIn, like I said, at New to Medical Device Sales or at Jacob McLaughlin. But I just want you all to know, I want you to keep winning. I want you to keep going after your goals, living your best life. And we will see you on the next one. Peace.